You bought your prop firm challenge. Maybe it's your first prop firm challenge. Maybe this is your fifth one. Maybe it's even your 15th challenge for some people. And every time you go in with the plan that you believe is going to work, right? You're disciplined for a few days, and then somewhere along the way, boom, you breach a daily loss limit, you breach a total drawdown, or you just start rushing because you feel like you're behind and you try to force your way to pass. And just like that, account's gone. Breached, all the money you paid and your fees are gone. And now you're sitting there wondering, you're like, man, okay, do I reset this account again? Or do I actually take a step back and figure out what's going on? So here's the thing 95% of people who buy a challenge fail it. Only 5% end up passing. And of those 5% who pass, it's a smaller percentage who actually get to their first payout. So only about 7% of those 5% get there, which is, I think, from the beginning, that's about 0.3% of people who are actually going to reach their first payout. There's a lot of reasons that people fail. One of the biggest reasons is edge. But another one is just not knowing the actual process of passing these on purpose. So this is the actual guide I'm going to go with you guys and what it actually takes to pass a futures challenge instead of buying challenge after challenge and losing them the same way every single time. And I'm gonna focus primarily on futures in this video. Forex is a completely different one, and I'll cover that in another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Strong. I'm a full-time trader. I went from working 10, 12, and even sometimes 16-hour days at my 9 to 5 to now living abroad full-time with my wife and my daughter and trading full-time. And I coach traders just like you who've been stuck for a while and who can't really seem to break through that consistency wall. And I help them get to the other side to reach profitability. Now, I'm not talking out the side of my neck. Um, I'm not making this stuff up, right? I personally passed futures accounts, forex accounts, got funded, and then most importantly, I help my students get funded as well. Get funded, get payouts. This is obviously just a few of the many to fit on this screen. And so the things that I've done, the things I'll teach my students to do to get their own payouts, this is the actual process that I'm going to go through with you guys because you can do it too. It is possible. First thing you need to do, you need to know your numbers before you start. This is very important because a lot of people are infatuated with these prop firm accounts, not understanding that this is a business. They have a company which they have a bottom line, they need to have ROI, right? A return on their investment. And so it's important to understand the business model the same way any stock that I may invest in, you may invest in. We need to understand the underlying concept of the company. So we want to look at things like our account size, the payout caps, and what even your actual ROI looks like on your futures account before you ever risk a dollar. Because again, the same way they have a business, this is your business. So your trading is your business. You are a professional when you embark on this journey. Now, the thing with futures prop firms in particular, remember, this is a guide for futures challenges. Futures prop firms have payout caps. And a lot of don't get fooled by the marketing that they've done, showing the people who've made five figures, and I'm not gonna say five figures, excuse me. Let me say $500,000 in 30 days or $2 million. There's one company who markets, I'm not gonna name them, but you all know who they are, right? Markets, a guy, cool guy too, you know what I'm saying, what I see online, but they market him, he got paid $2 million. If you now go, that's great for marketing for their company. But if you go back and read the updated rules, that's not even possible anymore because they're shutting that down. You know what I mean? And also, if you go on websites like Trustpilot and things and start looking at recent reviews, you'll see a lot of people complaining about some of these same companies. Again, I'm not going to say who, right? Some of the same companies that were once trustworthy are now starting to find little nitpick ways to deny people's payouts. So you just want to be up on everything. Make sure you're looking at trusted companies. These are just companies I'm using for example. I'm not saying use them. All right, it's all up to you. I have no affiliation with anybody. But the point is, a lot of people blow these accounts because they're chasing challenges that were never really going to pay them that much in the first place. And so this is just an example, right? If we have a 50K account using these four companies, the max drawdown for these is only $2,000. Depending on how you risk, and we're going to use simple examples, right? You may only risk $500 a trade. Okay, cool. You have roughly 4 trades, obviously taking into consideration spreads and commissions. Yes, there are still spreads on futures. They're just fixed, but futures does have spreads too. But take into account commissions. So you may have, a little over 3, or you may size down and you have roughly 4 trades. And then you want to look at things like your payout cap, the actual cycle when you can get paid, drawdown for your daily, is it intraday, right? We're gonna get to these, and also minimum trading days before you can withdraw. There's a lot of numbers, but the first thing you want to do is know your actual numbers to this. The second thing, size every trade to what you actually can get paid. Now, I know a lot of people, they go in this thing gun blazing. And one of the reasons when people come to me for coaching and they end up, working with me, I always tell them you have to unlearn. It's like some people, depends if they're seasoned. They've been trading for years. A lot of times, I work with people, they have to unlearn a lot of bad habits. And they'll go in gun blazing. And how these were, these businesses are always changing, their policies are always changing, right? They've changed a lot. So how this is currently as of today, right? Of the time of filming this video, they have a lot of caps. Now, for example, we're going to use, let's just say, it doesn't even matter. Let's say it's $3,000, right? It doesn't matter what account size it is. So if we go back to the last slide, we were using 50K examples. It doesn't matter. Most of these right now have 5 winning days minimum required, 5 profitable days. Then they have profitable, right? It means you need about $250 on average for a 50K account. If that's the case, if you have a cap for what you're going to pay out, there's no point of risking $1,000 trade. You risk $1,000, you make $2,000. You still have to get 5 profitable days. Even if you make $10,000, they're only going to pay you $3,000. This is one of the biggest things I see gets a lot of people all the time when I'm teaching some of my students. And, I see people who are failing. They don't understand you need to preserve your capital because, again, this is a business model. Yeah, they dress this stuff up, make it look good and sound good, but it really just means that there's no point of you risking but so much, because $600 a day is enough, right? You can't make but so much money, so why be extra risky? Preserve your capital. So if you have a 2-to-1 risk to reward, you only really need to risk $300 a trade. 300, you make your $600 for the day, stop. That's your profit per day. Now you got one out of the way. Because again, you're just wasting ammunition, because if you lose that 1,000, now you're down 1,000. Now you got to keep crawling your way out. Remember, it's not trading days, it's profitable days, your winning days. So your minimum trading day rules, right? Pace it. Break this down. Whatever your payout cap is, look at that and your drawdown to determine what you should be risking and what you should be making each day. Very, very, very simple math. Very simple. Next step, right? We want to make sure that you know what your drawdown is. Every account is going to be different. They change them all the time. Static drawdown simplicity is going to stay the same, right? It is a floor. It's a set floor. End of day trailing drawdown only really resets at the end. And even with end of day trailing drawdown, one thing you want to make sure you know is, okay, yes, it's end of day, because a lot of these companies, if you don't really know, like I study this stuff, like this is my career. Some people look and say, oh, it's end of day trailing, but then they'll have these little rules that say, oh, but if you profit, we're going to move it up. It's not really end of day trailing. So it'll say end of day trailing balance based. I mean, that's essentially intraday, just being honest with you. So, but for the sake of the video, actual end of day trailing is when whatever your, and again, some people are going to say, what's your equity? So you can be floating in profit. You really want to read these rules very, very, very carefully for each one of these companies. Someone's going to have end of day trailing and they're going to find it as in equity or balance, whichever is greater. Well, that's a big difference, because if you haven't closed position out and you're floating in profit, I mean, and then it comes back to break even, you'll end up losing for the day. So that's important to look at. And then intraday trailing, obviously the floor is going to move with you mid-trade and everything. So it makes it hard to really catch a lot of runners. And so if that's your trading style, you may have to adjust it or pick a different company. So you definitely want to know your trailing drawdown. Next is understand the challenge itself is not for testing. Now, if you want to buy a cheap one just to put some emotion into it or whatnot, that's a different strategy for a different purpose. But for the sake of making money, we're not here to be gambling at all. The challenge is not a place to test or figure out. Only want to run what you already have real back tested data for and a track record for. So Todd, I'm going all back to how all our systems for my students and myself, they're mechanical, systematic, and repeatable. Same principle I teach every time when I'm talking to you guys as well, right? So we know what our numbers are. We know our win rate. We know our profit factor. We know our expectancy. We know our average risk to reward. We know all of these different things. We even know our standard deviation. And so because of this, now we can look and say, okay, hey, now they know when they're ready to take one. When you look at your stats and you know, and you can change and size your risk accordingly, you know when you're ready to take it. Not because you see one or two trades or one winning week and you say, hey, man, if I would have took this on a prop from China, I would have passed it. Yeah, but do you know the rest? Because you might have blew it the 3 weeks before that, or you might blow the 3 weeks after that. There's a lot more to it. So make sure you have an actual tried and true system and you know all of your personal numbers for your data. And very, very, very important here. Don't rush. Do not rush. Do not rush. A lot of people have an infatuation. This is where most people actually fail. Oversizing or forcing the trades. And then as soon as they're close to the target, man, they're just so eager to pass. Boom, it's gone. Right. Take a step back, and realize it's not going nowhere. Right. Most of these companies don't have time limits. If they do, they want you to fail. Take your time, wait for your setup, wait for that good pitch like it's baseball, and swing when you see a good one. Most people literally fail right before they pass. I mean, they're getting I have I've had students before they started passing some, they'd text me like, hey man, they were $800 away and they was ready to pass. And I was like, I know, we'll have to talk about it and get on the call and work them through it and they'll be good. So, but it's only going to backfire against you. Like, there's no point in rushing. Just wait for your quality setup. And then once you pass it, this is the most important part. This is when the real work starts. So a lot of people, they're so happy to actually pass. You actually want to get paid. You want to make money. So even the funded accounts, they're going to have different rules. The payout process is another thing. Like these are all things when I say know your numbers at the beginning, you want to look at this too. You want to know the new drawdown if there is one, the new contract limit, because most of these have new contract limits. The amount of contracts you got when you first started, they will not give you when you actually pass. So depending on the asset you trade, if you're in indices, maybe it's no problem. If you're on currencies, that may mess you up. So really look into this, look at their payout process, and go through it and realize the goal is to get paid and then to eventually scale. That is the goal. The rules are different for every single challenge as well. Please, please, please make sure that you pass these. All right. So, example 2 I can give you guys is which one I want to give you guys. I use one of my military guys. So I had a military guy, and he's passed a few. I actually have an interview I'm about to drop with him too soon. So by the time I drop, I'll probably drop that with him soon. Just be on the lookout for that. Military guy. It doesn't really matter how you trade, right? All that matters is I'm gonna wrap all this stuff in. All that matters is that you guys, it works with any schedule, right? Any schedules work. This is really proof for me and my students right here. If you have a system that's repeatable, mechanical, and systematic, you know your numbers, it's going to work. My military guy, he was actually stationed in Kuwait. So he couldn't trade really New York. He was staying up. He would trade it during his job. He got a little bit more busy. So he started trading Asian session. All we did was make a few adjustments to his schedule. And then he was able to keep passing them, getting paid. If he blew one, which he blew 1 or 2 after he got his payouts, then he ended up passing 3 times as many because he started stacking them because his confidence was growing. And so that's another thing too. Don't feel like you're a failure because, oh, I failed him. It's a business model. At the end of the day, if you spent $200, but you got paid $2,000, you up $1,800. You win it, right? And so that's the same thing he did. He had passed one, got his confidence, made over 1,000. He sent me a text, "Hey man, I'm up so and so. Should I take it? Is this your first payout?" "Yeah." "Hey brother, yeah, you should take it." He took it. He felt it after, but he was happy. Bought 3, passed 3 more. Now he's getting paid from them, and so on. Now he's starting to snowball and build his prop firm. And so, like, it's very, very, very possible. It's not that hard, and this is exactly what I help my students with, right? I help them build stuff that fits their personality. I always say it's like custom clothing. Yeah, you can buy it off the rack. You can hope it fits good, but you can guarantee it fits good if you get it custom fitted, custom tailored. Because all of us have completely different schedules. We all have completely different lives. We all have completely different personalities, and we have to adjust the process to fit them. All of us have the same foundation, right? We all trade with the same foundation, but it's built a little bit different. Maybe you like to enter on a 5 minute. Maybe I want to enter on a 15 minute. Maybe some people want to swing because their job or their lifestyle, or maybe, person's a mother, right? And she has 3 kids she take care of. She don't want to sit down and chart. She wants to be able to, swing and enjoy her time with her children. So if you want help building this and finally passing, apply for coaching below. Let's see if we're a good fit to work together. I mean, this stuff isn't going to happen overnight by no means, but with the right process and most importantly, with the right person helping you, this can actually happen for you as well. It is literally not hard. So remember, man, know your numbers, size down, have a proven edge, pace yourself, don't rush, and this will happen. All right. It will happen and it can happen for you. But you have to have your systematic, mechanical, and repeatable process. And most importantly, if you got value from this video, make sure you subscribe. I'm dropping videos like this every single week to help you out and help you get from where you are to where you want to be. All right. All it takes is the right person to guide you there. And that's exactly what I'm here for. Until next time, much love.